the beans like we used to do. Pass the beans. Pass the beans like we used to do. Pass the beans.
Pass the beans.
Pass the beans.
Pass the beans.
Pass the beans. The Beans Talk.
It's showtime, baby.
Hey, Bean fam, we are back at you with another episode of the Beans Talk podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. We are four educators of color coming to you with raw, authentic conversation about society views and community engagement. I am Fabs.
I'm Steph, y'all. What's up?
Hey, crew. It's Ro.
Good morning. This is TJ.
Hey, y'all.
I'm telling y'all, Fabs on some other stuff
She is.
today.
Hey, y'all.
Okay, I'm it's fun.
She's on drugs, y'all.
Okay. That's not true.
She on that shit.
No, I'm on life.
But
Mind you, I got a final that's coming up, so
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta let this energy out while I can.
Yes, ma'am.
Shout out to Fabs getting ready to end the semester strong with her final.
Yeah, boy. But yeah, let's jump right into our dinner.
Yeah, that's me. And so I have a question that, I don't know, I got from the internet. This question is, okay, so my question to you guys is, when is it acceptable, if ever, to break the law?
I say if it involves me defending my loved ones, I'm gonna break the law. Like if my loved ones are in danger and I need to cut a
bitch?
like they gotta go. Like that's the only time I would break the law. It's like if someone that I love is in danger and I need to think fast and in a hurry.
To what extent are we talking here? Because technically, I don't fully stop on red before I turn right.
Oh yeah, I run so many red lights.
Stay breaking the law.
Stay running red lights.
You do? You'll stop and then be like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go.
Not on a right
I'm like,
turn.
it's yellow.
Steph's like, it's yellow. Let me go ahead and accelerate. And then that joint be turning red. And I'm like, okay, we just ran the red light. She's like, no, we didn't. I'm
That's
like,
what I'm saying. Thank you, bro.
You're welcome. You know why you didn't run it? Because if a police officer were to stop you, you can be like, hey, officer, it was yellow.
Yeah. At what point? A yellow means slow down.
And I...
Not speed
true.
up.
That's what they say.
So you would have made that. You would have stopped by the red light. For sure. But yeah, no, I agree with Steph. Breaking the law, if it's something extreme, I'll definitely do it if somebody that I love was hurt, and it's not just somebody I love, but somebody that I love and is extremely important to me. Like,
would you kill?
I don't know about that. I think if I am so consumed with rage, I don't know what I would do at that point. Right. I don't know if I probably would black out, and I don't know after I black out what might happen.
Wait a second.
I don't take that or blame that on myself at that point. I'm not sure what take hold.
What happened?
I thought when you said, would you kill, is this voluntary kill? Because I'm thinking a life or death.
Would you kill for someone you love?
Yeah, if it's in the moment, I'm thinking heat of the moment, it's like a life or death situation.
Yeah. I agree. No, I completely agree with you guys.
Yeah. But it sounded like Fabs was talking about
revenge.
First degree.
Oh.
Oh, wait, not just randomly for nothing.
No,
I said if it was for somebody that I loved, I have to really love you.
But it didn't
really
sound like it was in
you.
in the moment type of crisis. It seemed like you would do it
for sport.
Not for or
I can't even kill a fly, bro. I mean, I let flies go free. So I mean, I don't see how
flies go free.
Well, I agree with you guys.
Flip them wings.
I often think about have you ever thought about what would you do if your mom was in danger or someone was hurting your mom? I would.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like in those moments, I feel like I would black out, and I'm at that point, it's no longer in my control.
Well,
I remember telling my mom about this dream I had a while ago. It was like a snowstorm, and we were driving someplace. I don't remember in the dream, but we were driving, and our car broke down, and then these people, these hoodlums came, and they tried to carry my mom away. And
is this a dream?
It was a dream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it tried to carry my mom away, and I remember just the anxiety I felt in the dream. I felt so real, and I was I woke from the dream and my heart was pounding. and I was like, dang, like I would bludgeon someone from my mom. Like someone would get effed up.
Yeah.
Bonjour, assassin.
I feel them though. For my people, man.
Yeah, it's got to be like something crazy that's happening. And I mean, like, children come into play, then it's a whole nother ballgame. Like, I mean, once I black out, that's it. There's no telling what I would do. And I can't take hold of that I can't take hold of that for Viola. I can't take full responsibility, but
Fabiola's damaged some pretty like sturdy things sober, so or like in her right mind. So blacking out,
you can only imagine.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think about too, like, what if you were in a situation where, let's say, like a zombie apocalypse happened, and
well, I'm killing everything in sight.
And like, you know how like there's always in the movies your loved one gets hurt and they're like, okay, leave me behind, like I'm done for.
Yeah.
If that was my mom, I would never be able to leave. Like I wouldn't leave her.
Yeah.
Even if I knew she was bitten and doomed, I would like, I don't know, it's like this, I wouldn't be able to just be like, peace out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't know. I mean, I think that would be very hard. I feel like we had this conversation.
We did have this conversation. I was watching this movie on Netflix. I forgot what it was. I don't remember the title of it, but I didn't finish it either. It was beat. But I just watched the beginning, and there was this dude who had a wife, and it was definitely like an apocalypse that had happened, and they were inside of a space, and it showed the man and his wife all lovey-dovey. They had like 2 kids that were away somewhere else in like a safe house that they were talking about. And then some zombies pretty much broke into their little safe haven, and then they were cornered inside of a bedroom. And that husband got into a closet and shut the door. And then the wife's like, I don't remember his name. She was like, Jim, help me. Jim busts open through that closet, went through the window, and left her there. And that was it. And he survived. And I was so outraged. I said, Fabiola, I was like, would you do something like this? And then Fabiola was like, hell yeah.
Listen, it depends. Like if it's one zombie and then it's like all 4 of us, then yeah, I'm going to try to attack because it's just one zombie. But if they have like superhuman abilities, then it's another story. You know what I'm saying? Like, are they going to pick me up and have me flying across the room? What can I really do? They got 2 hands.
You all know how the rest of her day went.
If it's like it was perfectly fine. But if it was like a room full of zombies, yo, I'm out.
Timon.
It makes no sense for us all to die. What?
Timon.
Who's gonna tell the story?
That's just a hard decision to make. If it's my mom, I don't know. I don't think I would be able to leave. We both die. Like
Timon.
I just
guys. Zombie apocalypse though. This is.
I know we are talking about it.
I mean, these are obviously extreme situations here.
No,
be careful. Some people believe that this is a high possibility.
That is. But no,
no offense.
No offense.
I can't.
No, I agree with everything that y'all were saying, man. For a loved one, I'll commit any crime. Whether it is to kill, or I'm just thinking specifically, like if there comes a time when I have children and like my children need food and I can't provide food for them,
you gonna rob a bank?
I would steal food. I would do anything. Yeah, I would rob a bank. I've thought about robbing a bank. I've thought about it. Like I've actually sat here and like,
that takes a lot of like that's not as easy to.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't do it.
I have a really funny story about this, and I think you were there. No.
Oh, okay. I was about to say Steph. Oh.
No, but
allegedly. No, I'm just joking.
Fabiola was there. Imagine me robbing a bank.
Yeah,
I would get caught. I would go straight up to the police station and be like, I don't know what I've done.
Steph wouldn't take a quarter that's off the counter at a corner store. She'll probably pick it up and put it right back on the counter. Like, hey, you guys dropped this. This must be yours.
That's cute.
Anyways, I think Fabiola was there.
What happened?
You tell me if you remember this, but I have a cousin, and I feel like we all have that one person in our family who's just like in and out of trouble, in and out of jail. Like there was this running joke for this particular cousin. Like when he was out of jail, they were like, oh, he's on holiday, on vacation, because that's how much he went to jail. So one day he had just had his daughter, and he needed to go to the store to get like some things. And so I, as naive as I was, decided to give him a ride to the store. They were sitting in my aunt's house. You were in the car, right? Yeah. And Fabiola was with me. So we go to the store. He goes into the store.
Selfie.
And then he comes out and he, sort of looks like TJ. I said, Cuzzo, what did you get? This dude pulled out half a gallon of milk out his pants. He had bread. He had
cereal.
turkey. He was just like pulling things out.
I was floored.
Me and Fabiola are sitting there looking at each other.
He's like walking out. I'm like, yo, I don't know. Something don't seem right.
And he pulled out so much stuff, like a full meal out of his pants and his shirt.
More than
For
one
his
meal.
kid.
And then,
Yeah, kids.
See?
well, I don't necessarily, this was a newborn baby. And so they were staying at my aunt's house, who was like very religious, by the way. And then I was like, stunned. He was like, oh shoot. He said, I got to make sure I get some bags for this stuff because I can't walk in here without any bags. He walked back in the store and got grocery bags.
For the groceries
he didn't buy. And so we could bring them back in the house. And I said, this is the last time I'm giving this fool a ride
That's some
anywhere.
bold stuff.
Yo,
man.
Steph
driving
was
like this.
shook. She was shook.
so upset.
Felt like she was in the getaway car.
Right.
We skirted off.
Nah, man.
I was done with that.
No, but they ate though. They were fed.
They
Okay,
were.
so this is
He does. No, he has more than one. It was more than one kid though.
Well, yeah, he had more than one kid, but at that moment, the only kid that was there was a newborn baby who was surviving off breast milk.
Okay, well, baby,
But-
family was fed. That's what I'm saying. For loved
facts.
ones, I would commit a crime.
I hear
Okay.
you, man. I hear
And
you.
Steph, I'm gonna call you up, and I'm gonna open up my jacket, and you're gonna see all the shit in my pockets.
In that jacket
And
right
this
there.
one right
Pulling
here.
out gallons of milk.
Okay, and you gonna be okay with it. friend.
Smush bread.
Okay. Tell your ass to drive, baby. Just drive.
I'm not giving you a ride nowhere. I'm glad you said that. I ain't giving no criminals ride.
Oh man.
Well, that goes to show we would all be criminals if it ever came down to
I
it.
know, right? Oh, this is great. This is a great segue into today's segment, which is recess. So we're already having a bit of fun. So we're going to continue the vibe by having some more fun. So I wanted to get a little ratchet for recess today.
Ratchet for recess.
Yes.
Look at the hand.
You see the hand? That's like the ratchet spilling tea hand.
Yes, it is.
Y'all see that?
Ooh.
So I want to talk about this whole ordeal around Omarion, Apryl Jones, and Lil Fizz.
Oh God.
Okay. So for those of you who aren't up to date on this situation, aka TJ,
What makes you think I'm not up to date? I know the tea about this story.
okay.
A little bit. I don't know all the details, but tell us.
All right. So this is just a summary for people who haven't been following along, if you've been under a rock or something. So I'm going to try and summarize what's been going on. So Apryl and Omarion, they started dating in 2012. They both appeared on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood in 2015, where their relationship was like public and like fans were like, oh, this is so cute, having their little butterflies. And then they also had two beautiful children, Omega and Amy. Omega, yes.
Interesting name.
I like.
Yes, Omega's their son. Amy is their daughter. And they actually split in 2016, a few months after Amy was born.
Okay.
So they've been like apart since 2016. At that point, Omarion left the show while Apryl remained a personality on Love and Hip Hop
Getting
Hollywood.
those checks. Okay.
Right. Yep. Getting her little check. So she's still there. So we fast forward to the beginning of this season. And there were like some rumors about Apryl having a romantic relationship with Lil Fizz, who is the former bandmate of Omarion from the infamous group B2K. We all know that B2K. So it turns out that those rumors were actually true when Apryl went public about their relationship on social media. And they didn't just announce it. They put up pictures, videos, Fizz grabbing on the booty, amongst other things. So they really made this announcement like, hey, we in this relationship, we're in it to win it. So after Apryl went public, it pretty much just started this whole social media war. People are upset that Apryl and Fizz would even start messing around in the first place, especially since Omarion and Fizz, you know, were good friends and they grew up together and were a part of B2K. And then you have other people who are taking the stance that Apryl deserves to be happy and you can't help who you love. And quite frankly, it's not our business anyway. So we have these kind of like two debates that are happening right now. Through all of the mess on social media and like drama that's unfolding around this, I think people are most impressed with Omarion Omarion has been unbothered. He's like taken unbothered to a whole new level. He actually just recently did an interview on Vlad TV. And this is like the first time that he's like publicly spoken out about this, their relationship. And he said, I don't feel no ways. I don't feel any way about it. I think that if they're happy, then they should be happy. I think they should change the narrative though. And even though he didn't go into detail about what that narrative might be, I think that he's talking about how Apryl's been saying like, he's been making her life like a living hell since she went public about the relationship with Lil Fizz by not like giving child support, as much child support as he should be giving and like acting really mean and cold towards her. Again, I don't know how much of this is true, but when Omarion did this interview with Vlad TV, he makes it like very clear that he isn't in the business about worrying about what Apryl is doing unless it's like directly affecting his kids.
Word.
He also like pulled the ultimate unbothered move and like stunned fans when he announced that he was going on the Millennium Tour in 2020 as a solo artist instead of with the whole group B2K. So people immediately like went to Instagram and Twitter and like had all these funny memes clowning Fizz for like pretty much losing out on a major check by messing with Omarion's like baby mama, including like their own bandmate J Boog. He like put a video up and was like, man, Fizz, you messed it up for all of us, dude. And so it's just been like all this drama circulating. And so even though all of this drama is going on and everything's unfolding, Apryl and Fizz, they're still defending their relationship and telling haters to pretty much kick rocks.
And collect sand.
Yep, and collect sand. And I think the other interesting thing about this is that Fizz is claiming that he was never even friends with Omarion in the first place.
Wait.
Like he was saying like they weren't even close friends, and so people need to like quit saying that and back off of him and Apryl so that they can just be happy and just be, you know, in their relationship. So now that you have the context, and I'm pretty sure like I'm missing a whole slew of other like drama that's been unfolding around this. But that's just like the basis. So I'm curious to hear what my Beam fam thinks about this whole ordeal. First off, I'm wondering if you guys think that Apryl and Fizz are messed up for pursuing this relationship in the first place, or do you kind of think, you know, it doesn't really matter? And then it really makes me open up to this larger ideas like what are your thoughts about dating your ex's friends and that whole conversation? Because I feel like that's at the root of this entire ordeal. It's like, are they right? Are they wrong? Like, have you heard of other things circulating around this that I might have missed inside my little recap? Like, where we at?
I actually did hear about Lil Fizz, him saying that he wasn't friends or wasn't close with Omarion anymore, but it happened after, I guess, you know how when B2K broke up, Omarion was really trying to push his solo career, and that's when they had like a falling out. So I think it was like, I don't think Lil Fizz was saying that they were never friends. I think they kind of became estranged after some time, that B2K, the band, broke up.
Oh, he was definitely saying they was never friends.
Like never from the start?
Exactly.
Oh, well, that's what I like remember hearing during the reunion. I think there was a reunion recently.
Yes. Yeah.
But as far as the dating an ex, I don't know. I mean, I want, everyone deserves to be happy, and it's true you can't help who you fall in love with, but there's like 7 billion people on this planet, and Lil Fizz ain't all that. He's light skinned with curly hair. You mean to tell me you can't find someone that you could like? I don't know. I just think that's like, it's a bold move to make. And clearly if she did it, if they did it, they must have been for real. But I always thought that like Love and Hip Hop was all calculated and fake anyway. Like I thought that whole thing was just for the show.
But it's real.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It could be calculated. You really never know if it's calculated. But I think Lil Fizz is messed up for doing what he did, and to claim that they were never friends. I find that to be bizarre. Seeing that you guys have known each other since I don't even know, like your early teens or something like that. I find that to be ridiculous. And I also heard that, I could be wrong about this, but he's also the godfather of one of the kids.
Oh, yes, he's the godfather of Omega, the son.
So I just don't understand why somebody would make you the godfather if you're not even friends. Like that doesn't even make sense. Like I'm sure he has other family members that he probably could have made a godfather if you guys weren't even cool. So I feel like that's just nonsense for him to just try to say something like that. I think he's really just trying to justify his actions. And I feel like what he did ethically is just, it's messed up. There are plenty of other women out there. I'm sure that there are plenty of women throwing themselves at you all of the time.
But
you can just kind of
April's
filter it out.
So you're saying it's more on him than her? Like you're saying?
I think it's on both of them, to be honest. But you pointed out more on her than him, so I wanted to point out him over her. But I think it's on both of them. I don't think she should have pursued anything with a best friend either. But I also don't think his best friend, because he was there before Apryl. You know what I mean? Like he was like a brother. Apparently, if he's a godfather, he's like a brother to Omarion in my mind. And then he just goes off and cheats with, or takes the baby's mother, Omarion's baby's mother. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I don't know. I feel like that to me is it's pretty powerful. I'm not gonna say far more powerful because she is the mother of his children. So that holds a lot of weight. But he's known Lil Fizz for grit, like a very long time by this point. So I don't know.
I'm starting to change my opinion a bit. And now that I hear it, it's just like, just because you know someone doesn't mean, they grew up together. He's a godfather of their kid, but clearly she was around him a lot. Like she had to have been the girl. Apryl was around Lil Fizz a lot. So maybe they connected, and I don't know. I just think people are so quick to judge when they're not in it themselves.
Here's my thing. Dating the ex of a friend, I think that's complete violation of bro code, sister code. Like, I think that's grimy. But for me, what makes this situation even grimier is the fact that, like, they have kids, yo. Like, Fizz, those kids knew you as Uncle Fizz or whatever they called you, Godfather Fizz. Like you were someone in my dad's life enough that you are my godfather, and now you're with my mom. Like I think that's grimy. Now, if they didn't have any kids, I'd be like, oh, okay, like it's messy, but hey, it was 3 years ago. But they have children, man. I think that's a
lifelong bond.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's not something you could just erase. And so it's just, I don't know. I find it very, and you're right. Like to the point where it's like, at the end of the day, I agree with both sides. Like it's really, I'm only talking about this because this is a topic of our conversation right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's the point. And I mean, this is also a recurring theme, I'm sure, in like regular people's lives. And so, I mean, this kind of shit happens. It does. But at the end of the day, I feel like what you're doing is definitely going to cause harm and pain for somebody else. And I'm always against that. I don't agree with that.
I know I was in a situation, I know you guys know about this, but I was in a situation earlier in the year where I was thinking about entertaining, pursuing someone that I knew my friend used to like back in the day. And I remember I asked you guys, like, well, what should I do? Like, should I pursue him? And you guys were like, no, out of respect for said person, like you really shouldn't. And I didn't. But like So like, I get it. I get like, there is a thing where like, you just don't, if you know like your friend, and this isn't even someone I'm super close with, it's just a friend.
Yeah.
But I felt uncomfortable like pursuing him when I knew my friend really liked the person.
Day, like, do you not, like, you don't even have that in the back of your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that, like, are you being considerate of somebody else in their life? Because what you're doing now is really about to like mess things up, like heavy, like allow them to part, allow them to separate. And I don't know whether or not this relationship between Fizz and Apryl, you said her name is? I don't know if that was part, no, I'm saying, I don't know if that was part of the reason for the breakup or anything like that. I don't think that's been made clear. But at the end of the day, it's messy right now. It's going to be messy for these kids later. I'm sure it's probably going to resurface over and over whether or not this relationship lasts between the two of them. Granted, it is their life. It's their love life. They could do whatever the hell they want to do at the end of the day.
Yes.
Yeah. My thing is, all that is fine and well. I get it. But there's just like a place where you just shut down, where there's like no possibility of anything developing. Like, so what if she was around him for an extended amount of time? Like, what boundaries were crossed? Or what was set up to make you think that this could even begin to be something where I could start having feelings for you? Like, I would just never put myself in a position like that. Like, if Fabiola had a close friend who she like grew up with, and they were always around, like, you know how we're always together, right?
It'd be like you digging Roe, like you breaking up with Fabs and then like Roe.
Yeah, exactly. It would be like why would I set something up to make it possible for Roe and I to develop romantic feelings? Like, that's just,
or vice versa.
Or vice versa. Yeah, like
I also think though we're seeing it through the lens of Omarion being a good guy. I think that if he was a Chris Brown or like someone that we perceived as like was really abusive to Apryl, our narrative would be a little bit different. Like, we wouldn't be saying the same thing.
I would.
There's 7 billion other people you could date, shorty.
I would still be like, I just feel like, I don't think my perception would really change. I'm not sure whether, I feel like it would change the narrative in a way where it's like, maybe I might question like, oh, I wonder if he pushed her into another man's arms type of thing. Then I'd probably think a little bit like that. But at the same time, it's like, it didn't have to be the best friend. At the end of the day, I think ethically, morally, it's just like,
I think it would change a bit.
Where are the borders? There's no boundaries. Like, come on.
I think the general opinion would be a lot different. I think if this were someone that, because Omarion is perceived as like a good guy, like he hasn't been saying anything, he's handled himself in class.
But I feel like we also did hear about like how toxic their relationship was.
I said you didn't hear about it?
You did. You did. How
I didn't
like
hear about that,
near the end, like shit between Omarion and Apryl was like no bueno. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So whether Omarion's a good dude or a bad dude, at the end of the day, yo, shorty and homie should not be kicking it, especially if Fizz and Omarion were such good friends as they said. Whatever he may say now, that shit's grimy. Like, I know people always clown me because I'm the type of person, if a friend of mine tells me they have a crush on somebody that I think is cute or that I would love to talk to, I immediately cut off that person.
Yeah.
Like, it's you're non-fuckwittable.
right.
You're just, I can't. I know that's just me, and I just for y'all.
And the thing is, that's like to the extent of what this is. And I think the story that you had brought up, I think I'm familiar with what you're saying, but I think that also had included like a sexual aspect to it. You know what I mean? Like, it was like there was something that was already taken to the next level at that point. And so if it was just like, oh, so-and-so like so-and-so, then it wouldn't be, to me, it's not as bad. You know what I mean? It's not that big of a problem. It's not that big of a deal. But if there's like, if it's been taken to another level, it's not just like, oh, crush, and they're not even aware of it type of thing. It's kind of like, it's different. It doesn't hold as much weight to me. But if they got sexual, if they in any way, any capacity took it to the next level, then it's off limits. You're crossing lines that you should not be crossing.
Yeah. Okay, well then I'm going to speak for myself. When I say if it were a different person, I think if it were, when I think of like, how about like Chris Brown and that girl Karrueche or Coochie or what's her name?
My
Girl
God.
Karrueche. If
My
she
God.
dated Chris Brown's best friend, like fell into his arms because she was unhappy, I wouldn't be. I know my narrative in my head wouldn't be like, oh, that's fucked up. But because no, I think it would be like, damn, like clearly she was really unhappy and he was probably a support system. And I know, but then again, I don't particularly care about this, the Apryl and Omarion thing either, but I see it differently because in my head, Omarion is like, I don't know. It's like something about his the way he's perceived. I just think she's getting more flack than if he had been a different dude, in my opinion.
I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, I do get that part. And Apryl already does not have like the best reputation.
For real?
I think, yeah. There was this whole situation that unfolded with Apryl and Just Hilarious. You guys know the comedian.
Just
She's
the
on.
mess.
She's
Just
on,
with the mess.
the show
She's
now,
on the
which
show
is
now.
crazy to me.
And that's when all of
weird.
the mess like sort of started with her and Apryl, because Jess was like publicly saying like April's, you know, a hoe. She sleeps around with like all these different guys, and she like has been, you know, with multiple people inside the industry and blah, blah, blah. And Jess Hilarious is friends with Moniece, who is Lil Fizz's baby mama. And so when she got on the show, that unfolded into like a whole conversation. But I just think that Apryl has had this like reputation put out there that she is one of those girls that just hops from one man to the next that has status.
Hoppity hop.
Slut shaming is wrong.
Hoppity hop.
Slut shaming is wrong.
Yeah.
You're correct. But I think that that's why people...
Why are you looking at Ro like
I
that?
don't know, 'cause I
Like
wanted a
Ro is
reaction.
just
I'm just
going
saying.
around slut shaming.
I ain't say shit to you.
Right. So I don't know. It's just like a big mess. It's like, what
It's
are we
very
doing,
messy.
guys?
It's very messy. I think me as a personally, I would not be able to cross that boundary
At all.
I
I'm with
think you know, there's already, if I ever have any alone time with someone else's significant other, that's because my friend is. They trust me. They trust that I am not going to violate the friendship that we hold, and I know that any of my friends, I hold our friendship dear. So I would never, not even think anything like that at all whatsoever. So that's not even something that I could ever do. I could not be inside of April's shoes. Granted, if that's the life that she wants to live,
Let her live it.
she gonna live it. You know what I mean? If that's what Fizz wants to do, let him live it. That's their story. At the end of the day, it's just not mine.
What about the Millennium Tour thing?
That's great.
beast mode.
That's
He's
great.
What did
catching his
y'all-
bag, man. And this publicity.
Did y'all think that was right?
Yeah.
Or like...
Yeah. Was he supposed to just sit around and act like let me not do my business, let me not catch my bag? I would do that. on
No,
my
I mean
own.
without like him going solo, like headlining solo versus with all of B2K.
You know
Well,
what?
didn't who's the other one with the big lips?
Raz
B.
He's already out of the group. He's not on the tour. Because they already did a tour.
They did. There was the
and
last
he wasn't
Millennium.
on it, right?
Yeah.
So they aren't a full group
He
anyway.
was on it, but I think
But they
he left.
Yeah.
But
right?
but last year they were on tour as B2K, and so now this year it's like Omarion is, you know, headlining as a solo and not with B2K. I mean, I think it was a genius move,
Yeah.
but I'm just curious to hear if you all feel the same.
When people see him alone, does he have that extensive? Like, I feel like B2K has a much bigger pull.
No, Mario went off on his
has a
own.
lot of
He does
songs.
his songs. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, the song "Hearts Box Where My Heart
used to be.
Yeah, I remember that
All
song.
right, TJ.
It was Steph
You got
too.
into it. Well, I mean, Steph can sing, so
but you
I got a
can't.
little something.
You don't, babe. One thing that I love that Omarion did, the picture for the tour that he released with him and his brother. Is it Orion?
I don't know.
Okay, so
Oh,
there's a
yes.
picture.
Marcus
Yes.
Houston, isn't it?
That is his brother, but that's not what I'm
That's not the
speaking
one.
of.
Orion, yeah.
Orion and Omarion have a picture together, and like on the floor of the picture, it says "Bro Code."
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah, and I think
pettiness.
yeah, but I love that though because it's like at the end of the day, Fizz violated Bro Code.
He definitely
I don't care,
did,
man. And Omarion is still gonna get his checks. Fizz is probably gonna I don't know.
What I think would be so dope
Yo.
is if, like, during the tour, he decides to bring out everybody on B2K except for Fizz. I really think he might actually do something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
He probably is going to do something like that. And the memes,
Or
the memes
cracking me
have
up.
been crazy. They're just like people like Omarion dropping the kids off with Fizz and Apryl before he like goes
on
and
tour.
headlines the Millennium Tour. I'm like,
J Book, I would be upset if I were him too, because it affects him too.
He was
So
heated.
I can see why.
No,
he'd
he
be
was pretty
upset.
pissed. I mean, I would be upset if, as any person inside that group, like, except for Fizz. I'm sure he's upset anyway because Marion's about to catch the bag, y'all. He's about to catch that bag for real.
and now I'm wondering if he's thinking, dang, was the booty worth it?
I hope so.
I'll be like, it's not. There's no booty worth millions of dollars to
hope
me.
So I hope
Not
so.
even for Biola's.
Oh. Ooh. What's that thing I hear the kids doing? And I
Look at her face. No, she's worth way more than $1 billion.
now it's up to $1 billion. I was giving her a couple mil. Nah, like this whole thing is crazy. You know what would be dope? If Omarion through all of this, you know, talking about Fizz not on the tour, and then he brings out Fizz on the tour.
Yo, that would be really dope, to be honest. I think that would be such a great, as a business owner, I mean, as a businessman.
Yeah.
That would be pretty dope for him. You know what I mean? I think that's going to really bring in the money.
Yeah, he's getting
It's going to be
paid.
rolling in the cash.
He is.
This
think
whole publicity thing.
I think Fizz has a more. I think he should be getting more backlash for it than Apryl personally.
You
I
think
agree.
what? I'm sorry, I didn't get
I think
that.
Fizz should have more responsibility.
Okay.
To not like, I don't know, Apryl to me it's like
But she already had that reputation, I feel like.
there's nothing wrong with
something like that going in.
kissing frogs to find a prince. I mean, I don't see her as a slut. I mean, that's not to me. It's just like, you know, people bone is not a big deal. But
There
I
was
do
just
think
a video out
Fizz-
of her cozied up with some other man while she's in the relationship with Fizz. It's just like,
I don't even believe that they're one going to last. Two, that was legit. It's too convenient that they got together right when the new season of Love and Hip Hop began. It seems
Yeah, but
fake.
also remember like how the recordings are happening. You don't even know when the recording
I know,
actually
right?
ends.
Right.
Like
Year
everybody, you
before.
can't say anything
Yeah.
at all. Like
Yep.
you're on contract where you're not allowed to say. So I'm sure
Oh, yeah.
this has all been happening
For some
well
time.
before our knowledge of any of it. So there's that, but. That's crazy. That's very, very crazy. Please feel free to join the conversation. Let us know what your thoughts are. We are about to jump into the word of the day. Thank you very much, Steph, for bringing that conversation to the table.
Thanks, Steph.
Word of the day. Word of the day.
Yes. Keep
Mon
moving.
bonjour.
Okay, I got y'all. All right, guys. And so a while ago, somebody had sent this to me, and I love it because over the weekend I was having a conversation about like really wanting to tap into De La Rowe.
Yeah.
Really wanting to tap into potentially modeling and doing this
Yeah.
stuff. But I noticed that it literally is me who is stopping myself from doing that. So here's what I'm gonna drop for y'all right now, all right? It's from Jerry Flowers Jr. You can follow him on IG. Stop doubting yourself, 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 stop doubting yourself. Just upload it, post it, release it, and do it. Stop doubting yourself, man.
It said stop doubting yourself
That many times? Yeah. This
Yeah.
is not me being annoying.
Show that to the camera.
This
yeah,
is
she
not-
like
I'm not being
literally
annoying.
read
Everything.
stop doubting yourself.
I went to school in America. I can read. Nah, we really just got to stop doubting ourselves, man. And you know what? Maybe Fizz and Apryl, they were like, you know what? We just gonna upload it. We just gonna post it. We just gonna
They stopped
release
doubting
Stop doubting
it.
what we got going on.
Okay, and we just gonna do it.
I respect it.
Okay.
Respect what?
I respect the phrase you brought. And if that's how they felt, shit, I respect it. It's not easy to do something where you know you'll get back a lash and people judging you and hating on you, and you do it just because you feel it in your heart. So
That is very true.
I respect it to
That's
an
very
extent.
true. That's factual. Yeah, it's a great word of the day, Ro. Much appreciated.
Always.
I think
Yeah.
that is also the words for 2020.
Yeah. Get going. Get started. Get started.
Hey.
Can't doubt
Get started.
ourselves.
Hey.
Get started.
Stop slut
Get
shaming.
started.
Stop slut
Get
shaming.
started.
Stop slut
Get
shaming.
started. What, Terrence?
Stop slut shaming.
Okay, that doesn't quite fit into
Stop.
what we had.
It was a whole
No,
a part
no,
of everything.
no.
Stop slut shaming. Don't doubt yourself.
Yo, what's the homework? Yo?
I'm sorry. Let's hop into homework, man.
Okay, we got the homework for you guys. As always, let us know what you think about this episode or the content that we talked about today during our recess time. Please follow us on Instagram at the Beans Talk Podcast and click that link in our bio, and it'll bring you to all the major platforms where you can find all of our episodes, including YouTube, so you can see how we cut up. Cut up. All right, guys. Hey.
Y'all weren't ready. Y'all weren't ready.
We were.
Y'all weren't ready.
Ab's been acting a fool all episode.
Y'all, it's recess this time.
that's what this
It's
time is
recess. Nothing but fun. Nothing but fun. Anyway, that's another episode of the Beans Talk.
Ciao.
Remember, education isn't limited to the classroom. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Why are you this way?
I know. I don't like what she.
Hey!